All right, giveaway number 5 for the 1957 Chevy Bel Air sitting behind me has ended. You guys, we have to wait 10 days for all the mail-in entries to come in, and then we're going to be announcing who won this car. So thank you to everybody that supported it. Now, for the last 10 days, we've been doing cash in every orders, plus we were gonna give away a golden ticket. So I want to announce the golden ticket winner today. Francis Smith, you are the winner of the $1,000 golden ticket. Now, we're going to be emailing you and calling you. So pick up your phone, check your emails, check your spam. We want to make contact with you. The last winners, it's been a miserable time trying to get a hold of them because there's so many scams going on. But we're not scams. We're going to be reaching out, but we need to make contact with you in order to give you the $1,000. Congratulations, Francis Smith. And we appreciate everybody that was involved in this and bought some merch. So another thing, Layton Auto Body is expanding again. So we're hiring all positions, from detailers, painters, body technicians, whatever you are qualified for an auto body shop, send your resume to info@robbylayton.com. We are ready to hire you right now. So this is my body shop that I own and we need help. So send resumes right here, info@robbylayton.com. So thank you guys, and let's get back to this engine build. Last night, we flew halfway across the country to Kearney, Nebraska, so we could watch a brand new LS get built at Blueprint Engines. We're building the ultimate shop truck, and this is how we got here. The bus is coming. Hand sanitizer. We made it through security barely. I'd like to show you what slow we got caught. And the guy was generous enough to not make him throw his Bar W cookie away. The smallest kid on the team literally brought snacks. All right, so next stop, we're gonna go to the Delta Sky Lounge, go hang out for an hour, and then we're flying to Denver. We've got a layover, and then we're headed to Kearney, Nebraska. We made it to Denver. Next stop, Kearney, Nebraska. All right, we made it to Kearney. So the party starts tomorrow. Kel from Blueprint's picking us up. We're gonna go get a hotel room, and tomorrow the fun begins. I've wanted to see how an engine is built in a factory for the longest time ever. And now you get to watch it with me. So it is tomorrow. Went through their QC department. Now we're out in the manufacturing part of Blueprint Engines. Now we get to see where the magic happens. It's a big block, pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
So if you really want people to go crazy, show this, because we displayed this 3 years ago at PRI just as a teaser. So like I said, we do it industrial. It doesn't exist on the Blueprint side because it would be a block redesign. We need to add a balance shaft because this is where wood chipper application lives at 2,600 RPM. But this blew up the internet when we put this on at PRI.
But it's actually an engine that exists.
Yeah, it exists on our industrial side.
That's so crazy. one LS head on a little baby inline four.
Yep, for 3.6 liter.
Now if we could just cut it, yeah, and then put it here, then we'd be happy.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So we're in the R&D room of Blueprint Engines, and they got a lot of cool stuff in here, but they got a 632 big block that we just showed you that is on my one-day list. But we came here to watch the LS kit build. So we're building us a shop truck, so we're gonna be going to a wrecking yard, we're gonna be picking up a truck, and we're gonna put an LS in it, and we're gonna take it to SEMA. So we partnered up with Blueprint Engines, and I told them, I said, well, if we're gonna do this, I gotta see how they're built, because I'm fascinated with how things are made. I mean, this facility is unreal. So we're kind of going through all the cool sections of the building first, and then we're gonna go actually into the factory. But they got their dynamometers here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 dynamometers here, and you can feel it vibrating, but you can barely hear it. We're gonna watch through the window. This is a pure 1,000 horsepower 632 big block. Check this out. You can feel that in your chest.
You're at 575 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000.
That's so crazy. Yeah, when we first
That'd
dipped
be
in.
so fun.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So is this an engine that's sold?
Yeah, so this one will go to a customer.
Okay, so you're running it, testing it.
Yep.
And then you'll crate it up and ship it out.
Yep, exactly.
That is so cool. Oh, you've even got EGTs on every cylinder.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, of course.
Well, with the cam in this one, the EGT is a little bit radical, but you see as soon as we tip in past 4,000, they just come up on the line, raise up together, so make sure it's all operating good. Below 4,000, you can't tell.
So you're the dyno operator?
Yeah, we switch off for the 632s, but between Isaac and I, we run off most of the 632s.
That's pretty cool.
So the 1015 is actually built offline. They're all hand built here in R&D and then tested right here. Oh, so they don't go down the standard line.
Yep.
Gotcha.
They get built right over here, and then brought back here. We dyno test them. We do about 10 passes, make sure everything looks good. Then print off the sheet, send it on its way.
That's so cool. It's really exciting, actually. Cool. Well, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
That's awesome.
So this is set up gasified, either propane or natural gas. Like I said, on the industrial side. The cool thing on the, since we have a whole industrial division, it's for OEM customers that require a certain caliber. So everything we learn on the industrial side, then we're able to apply on the blueprint side. So it just elevates both brands and product.
Here, the 632, taking another pull. That's 1,000 horsepower. Yeah, no big deal.
So this would be a standby since it's turbocharged.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take like the same engine and then put based on the size of the turbo to get higher kilowatts out of it. And then depending on how long a use, like a full-time generator, you're normally not gonna turbocharge it, but it's gonna make lower power. Whereas if you just need it to run a couple hours, you know, when the power's out or so forth, then you can get a lot more power out of it with a larger turbo.
That's cool. So there's Blueprint engines and there's Origin engines. Origin is their industrial line. That's what we're looking at right now. This would go in like the generator. So they can turbocharge stuff to give them higher kilowatts or, you know, however it runs. But I had no clue that they built generator engines. So that's kind of cool. But I'm real excited about that 632. I was really excited for the 60 LS build. But that big block just like spoke to my heart.
Simple.
So these are the durability cells I was telling you about. Here you go.
Oh. So this is where they test durability to failure. They run the engine out here in this container. It's fully fire suppression. It's got everything it needs in case there's a catastrophic failure, but these Origin engines are designed to run at lower RPMs for a longer amount of time. So I think it's like 3,500 hours. There's
I don't know. Don't quote me on it. That's I'm not
like
as
that.
familiar on the
But
industrial side, but
still
yeah. So obviously small block running off of natural gas, or this one might be set up for propane. But yeah,
hooked to a generator. But anyway, they test everything on site.
so we'll go over here and we'll show you where it all starts. This corner of the building, we have the raw casted block. That corner of the building is where it's going to be ran and tested as a complete engine. So literally just under this one roof.
Are we allowed to touch?
Yeah.
Check this out. This is a raw casted block. This looks like a small block Chevy block
Yep.
casting.
Yep. So you've picked up a block before.
Oh,
Okay, pick this up.
yeah, it's quite heavy.
So a small block, you'll shave about 50 pounds off in the CNC process. A big block's closer to 80 pounds.
Oh, that's before it even has. Yeah, no, this.
Yeah, this is 100% raw
this is
casting.
just a casting. Now these are casted in Germany
Yep.
and built in Nebraska. In Nebraska. That's so crazy. I've never. Well, I don't know where I would.
Big block?
I've never
Yeah,
done that.
big block.
Check it out. Hey, small block. Now it's Colin, and over here we got Owen. Okay. We got the big block 632 over here. Now the industrial big block. Are they using the same block as the 632?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
not all of them. So 632 is a tall deck.
Oh, okay.
So we have a standard deck and tall deck. So depending on the size of the engine, it will. But yes, both are our blocks.
So tall deck. Is that so that it has a longer stroke?
Correct. Yep.
Nice. Cool. Well, we're gonna go check out the section where it goes from raw casted block to machine block to built engine. And we kind of went in reverse. We started in the engineering, we went to R&D, we showed you guys the dyno. The dyno's supposed to be the last step before you actually get your engine, but
Well, the dyno you saw is more of an R&D dyno. We'll show you the production dynos that are just, those are the ones that
that's
turn
where
them
they
out.
that was just to go through. That's cool. Well, that's where the 632s are born and produced.
Yeah, so that's the hand-built
section.
We need to add that little tag that says, you know,
hand-built by a corn-fed engine builder. It's always got.
Yeah, but you can have one operator loading all 5 cells because they're staged, ready to go.
It's cool to see that it's still a human that's loading it, not just a robot.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, I'm sure it could go there, but
Yeah. Yeah. And then depending on the stage that it's getting, is how the block's going to be set up. Yeah. And then there's anchor points cast into the block, so when it goes into that, it's consistent.
Oh, really? So is that something that ends up getting machined out of it?
Yeah. Yeah, but you start with.
Yeah.
Start with.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So many operations to do a block.
Yeah.
Cool.
So right here, it's just like the block, and then the block has its own designated part number. When we get over to the front of the line is when they get assigned a serial number, and then that serial number will have the actual finished part number associated with it. So every engine does have its own unique serial number. So when you get your dyno results, it's for your exact engine. And then if you ever had questions, you call in, give us that serial number, and we'll know exactly what it was.
Step.
Yeah.
So these are just production blocks that are going to be part numbered. They're not actual custom builds that are sold.
Correct.
I mean, they could be
so
sold, but
if you think about it, you kind of have a recipe, and it all has to come together at the same time. So there's a forecasted blocks or engines to be built, and you have to have the right blocks to do it, so it all has to mix together correctly.
Yeah.
So they know, you know, next week, here's all the blocks we're gonna need for the actual assembly line. So it all flows together.
All right. This is where it comes out of the first machining line. Then we're gonna go over here and check out the other one.
So 24 inches deep with about 2.5 miles of rebar and on a 50 by 100 foot pad. Crazy.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, so this is their lunch table right here. As you can see, the floor is clean enough to eat off of.
I might eat one here.
Yeah. I was like, I'll eat here. No.
Hey, there's your V6.
Oh, see, look.
Just need to cut 2 cylinders off, right?
Yep. So here's the V6 block. They're getting closer to a V4. So we just need to cut that off right there.
So are those like the new 4.3?
But no.
But it is.
What I was saying about this place is it's crazy for a full-blown machine shop. This is so clean. And obviously in engine manufacturing, cleanliness is your friend. So it's just refreshing to be able to walk around and see they take it super serious. I mean, that's why the engines are good. Look, there's a crankshaft for it.
Oh, yeah, that is. Basically.
That is. Look. 1, 2. That makes 4. You trying to hide something from me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's secret stuff. You weren't supposed to see that.
So
So over here, they're line honing the main caps, and over here, they're honing the cylinder walls. And I was just telling Kel, this is like obviously it's just a machine shop, it's on a massive scale. I mean, you can look down to the end of the building and there's just people everywhere doing something, and all the little pieces end up being an entire engine.
Like I always say, we're a parts manufacturer because so many of these parts are our own. We're a parts manufacturer that assembles engines. But yeah, you're going to see firsthand today that literally the raw casting at one corner and a finished engine at the other. It's awesome.
We're at the other end of this cell, and they're doing cam installs, they're doing freeze plug installation, and other miscellaneous items in the block.
Is warehouse is on the other side. That's parts supports production. Here in the middle, you got your rotating assemblies. They're all going to be built sub-assembly, and then everything comes to the line and gets assembled going down the line. So we'll go over here and I'll show you how the cranks are balanced, how the cams are polished. Even everything we do is balanced to within 2 grams. So you're going to see them match up rods, measuring rods, weighing rods, and pistons. Everything sets of 8, obviously.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy. So right here, they're putting the block on the line, and they're adding the main caps, the bearings, I can see oil pump, and a couple other assemblies that are just going with the block, and then it's going to go down to the line. And the idea is for the people on the line to never leave their station and just assemble parts. So there's a lot of steps that go into putting an engine together that I was unaware of because I've never done it on an assembly line. So now we're in the middle where they're balancing piston rods, they're polishing camshafts, they're balancing crankshafts, and they're getting all the sub-assemblies ready to just go to the assembly line. So you got your warehouse over there, parts come out of the warehouse, come to the sub-assembly stations go to the line assembles, and eventually we'll make it to where the engine is assembled fully. So right here's a prime example. They have 8 pistons in each one of these boxes that are ready to go over to the assembly line. They've got the wrist pins installed, they've got the piston on it, they got their caps that are matched to each rod. Obviously when you break a connecting rod, your cap goes back on that rod specifically It can't go on anything else. So all of these will follow through and be assembled over there.
Here's another thing we talked about earlier in the QC or quality control department. Every part before it goes into production is inspected. So you can see these have a QA accepted tag, meaning one of our engineers did sign off on it. Another thing we're gonna do is mark all the caps. So just like you talked about, they can't get put on incorrectly. Everything's color coded and matched. You see these numbers here, all the rods were balanced and matched up. So since we built the same engine thousands of times, we know what it needs to weigh to balance out correctly.
These rods are not broken yet. That's crazy.
Those are some big ones.
Yeah, these are some big boys. These are some I-beams. Or these some...
Awesome.
It's cool to see it all. Like, I've got a base knowledge of how engines work and how they go together. I've done quite a few, but to actually see everything is kind of mind-blowing. Okay. All right, now we're in the crankshaft section. Where you balance in a crankshaft. Look at that. So they figure out where they need to drill certain weight out, and they drill it, and then they spin it. Years and years and years and years of drilling to know how deep to take how many grams out.
Like without 50 grams roughly out of each hole.
Okay, so that's why you didn't go all the way through the mark. Right. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, experience. That's how you know. It's just like a tire balance.
The dirty rag.
The cool thing with production line manufacturing is you get really, really good at that one thing. So like here, he knows where to drill, how deep, how much he can take out without ruining the crankshaft. And if he does go a little bit too deep, he can come over here and plug it on the side, add weight, and the crankshaft's not ruined. But anyway, he's got to take 11 more grams out of it, and then he's going to respin it. But as long as he's still on the counterbalance weight, it's fine. So he said that the depth is about 65 grams, and so if he's got to take 50, he knows to come down a little bit. If he's got to take 11, he comes up just a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to see if it'll spin out and be balanced.
If this starts getting a little dry, it won't come up to speed.
Oh.
And what we're looking for is anything under 5 grams on each one.
He's just about there. So he's under 5 grams on the left side. He's got to take a little bit more out of the right side and then spin it again, and that thing should balance out. But it's kind of cool to see how precise they're balancing these, because obviously a rotating assembly, if it's not balanced, it'll catastrophically come apart. So should be able to balance this out this time. So we just watched the first crankshaft I've ever seen get balanced. I asked him if he could take it all the way to 0, and this is still a production factory, so it's as close. I mean, 1.1 grams is still balanced.
Like your OEs do 10 grams.
Oh yeah, so it's way better than your OEs.
Yeah.
But you still have to keep in mind that they've got to pump out 80 a day. So, I mean, you want to make sure it's really, really, really precise, but also you got to make sure you can keep up with production too.
Do I start collecting parts? You know, we need a couple of these, pull them out, build us an engine when we get back to the hotel.
Start putting a few in your pocket?
Yeah. You think we can get enough and go build an engine in the hotel room?
All right, so we've come to a section that's a little bit out of order, but this is where all of the long blocks come together, and they determine whether they're going to go on the industrial side or on the blueprint side. So on the industrial side, they get upfitted with everything that an industrial engine needs, turbochargers, all the stuff to run a generator. So that's a little bit different than the blueprint side. The blueprint side, you can buy these engines from a long block all the way to a fully dressed, ready to run, drop it in your ride engine. So the one that we're getting it fully dressed, ready to go, drop in, minus wiring. We are getting our wiring from Holley Performance, which is another partner. But as far as the blueprint engine, it's coming with intake. It's coming with everything. Like, it's literally, we're gonna plug that thing in, drop it in, and it's gonna run. So it's kind of cool to see the long blocks all together. And then this is kind of the splitting point that goes to industrial and blueprint. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit, and we're gonna go over to the rods where they're breaking the rod caps and they're balancing where they're breaking the rod caps and they're balancing the rod to itself so it can go over on the assembly line and actually be put into an engine. Kidding, we're going to where they install the rings on the pistons, so we're bypassing the rods. So they have this machine back here that he gets to, this guy right here that assembles the rings gets to race, and he beats it every time. So they don't use it anymore. Put them on by hand.
He calls in sick or is on vacation, then we turn it back on.
Yeah.
Made
North built this like 30 years ago.
And it still works.
Yeah. Got your 400 small block set right here. Make sure your directions are right. There's arrows. Start putting rings on. Let's go through it real quick.
Obviously you've done this a few times.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how many I've done. Probably, I've done this for maybe like 5 years now here off and on, but yeah.
Here's what we'll do.
Maybe about 70 a day, but yeah.
We'll do this. 70 sets or 70?
70 sets a day, so 70 engines worth. Mostly, yeah, 8-cylinder engine.
Wow.
Yeah, slap your rings on and then
It's just that easy.
propane burner on there. Yeah. And it takes about like 3 minutes for the rods to heat up, so it's kind of like a timing game. Every set you play with. So. I don't know if you want to set a ring in there or do some.
All right, I will.
So, like our little stand here for a little bite there.
All right, and if you get your engine and your rings don't work, I apologize.
No, yeah, I'll check them out. And then I'll index them all too. You know, like anything about indexing them. So like your direct gaps on your rings, so the opposite, like 180. So the gaps aren't all lined up. But then the piston and star will also mess with the indexes if they're off when they throw the pistons in the block.
I don't know if he's listening. He's focused.
No, I'm listening. I'm just never done this. Okay.
Doing a good job. If the YouTube thing doesn't work out, we'll have a job for you.
Have a job for me. All right. Well, you guys might think this is funny, but don't worry. Owen's doing it next.
I've done it before.
Oh, I've done it before. Oh, okay, Mister. Okay.
That's a thick ring to start.
Well, I'm just
your
like
first one. You know?
So as you guys can see, I'm much slower. What one goes on top? This one?
Yeah, you can
I don't think it's in the groove.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
There you go.
We're slowing you down. You're only gonna get.
Oh, there goes the pin.
You're only gonna get 69 sets today. So we really screwed up on this one. Okay. This is.
There you go. Yeah.
I'll just like. I was gonna try to index. And I'm just gonna not even attempt.
And for the most part, all our ring gaps already come like from our vendor, already pre-gapped for like our high volume engines. There is.
All right.
If you file fit.
27 minutes. Come on, Mr. Ibard. I've done this before.
Breaking your land speed.
Well, I'm doing better than some people we get in here. Well, there's faster
It's hot in here.
at this than I
Makes me
was.
nervous.
I think my record's only like 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
For 8?
All from the garage.
Not only.
Taking a set off the rack to putting it on the cart, it's like 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Don't tell your beat you.
Yeah, there used to be.
Don't tell your boss, because there's no one.
Just a little bit, but
See how that works?
Yeah, it does.
3 days later.
Okay.
and then I'll let you do that part. The index?
Yeah, I think I'll want it out.
All right.
You want me to finish it off for you?
Yeah, we'll just watch now. He's like, this is like painfully brutal for
No, I started the same way you did. So, yeah, I can almost do it with my eyes closed, to be honest now.
So what? I'll ask after. Perfect.
Yeah, and I know where they sit.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like where the center of the rod is. Kind of feeling with my fingers, you know, where the center is.
So let's say that you
I use my thumb like as a backstop, you know. So
yeah.
when it is
I
there,
can see them coming all the way to this end
middle.
and all the way out.
Yeah, so when you do go to the middle, it's
You're in about 1/4 inch.
yep, it's right there in the middle, you know.
But anyway, you want your rod and wrist pin to be centered, and so I was watching him install it. Brought the rod to this side, wrist pin all the way out, and it centers it. So, little trade secret I just told you guys. All right, so this is the high volume line, and then next to them is the low volume, like the LS, the big blocks, all the stuff that takes a little bit extra time. They got to actually file the rings and make them fit perfect, and so that was cool. We're going into their warehouse where they have all their parts to make the engine. This is massive.
So like we talked about, there's a lot of stuff we assemble offline. So this would be all sub-assembly right here, load them on the carts, and then the carts get moved over. Yep.
Wow.
So here you go. So if you think about it, you go, well, what is this all about? Well, manufacturing facility, everything's down to the minute, if not second. So you can have someone that doesn't have the same skill level unbox everything like an entry-level position, and then that individual that's trained on how to install the distributor, install the carburetor, they're not wasting time unboxing it. And then all of our cardboard's recycled, all the metal shavings recycled. So even the water we're using on the dynos was all recycled.
Oh, wow. All right, so we found a cool section of the building that I didn't know about. The paint booth. So they actually use magnets to mask off all the faces that they don't want any paint on, and they spray it. So we're gonna watch them do a block. The entire block is painted. Now it goes from here to the next substation where it gets a crankshaft, pistons, it's already got the camshaft in it, and then it gets the heads, intake, and dressed out. I think I found the most fascinating station of the entire place. The rods breaking, the breaking of the rods. It's super cool. All right, so moving down the line, crankshafts get put in, main bolts get torqued. Right here, all these blocks have come in. He's putting all the long bolts that hold the, what is that plate that it holds?
Windage tray.
Yeah, the windage tray. Yeah, I knew that. I knew what it was, but you're gonna put those bolts in, puts timing chains in, make sure everything's torqued, and then it keeps going to the next station. The next station are pistons. So as you can see, the engine's coming down the line. They're getting assembled one piece at a time.
Oh, so you can see all the stuff we saw, like like the balancing,
Right. Everything
was just right over there.
It's right over there. The guy that was drilling all the balance
Yeah.
holes. He's talking to us about it. Oh, and he's putting on push on the lifters in. All right, so the block comes into a station, and now he's going to check the timing. He's going to put pistons, and he's going to torque the rod bolts to 65 foot-pounds. And then when he gets it all in, it moves on down to the next station.
Up on them. Oh, over on the other side of the line. I'll push it over.
It took him about 5 minutes, and then 5 extra minutes with us talking to him, but 5 actual minutes touching it. So you see he put 8 pistons in, check the timing, and he's sending it down the line. All right, so in here, he's putting on the oil pan, the front timing cover. This is an LS3. Got the timing sensor in the front. So they're gonna dress it, and then from here, it's gonna head to the cylinder head, I believe. So, yeah, this is all the covers for the different engines. You got oil pan gasket, you got oil pan gasket, another timing cover up here, you got your windage tray, and you got your expert. All right, so we are in the head installation station. Now they've got the head bolts ready to go. So when those LSs come down the line, these heads can be installed. They got right, left, 3 sets here. They've all got paperwork that's associated with it, but they don't have the blocks ready, so we may not be able to show you the actual head going on, but just super assembly line. So we go from here, right over here, to the next station. I lied to you. Look at that. There it is. There's the LS. Where is our head installation guy? Wow. I'll reel it. I actually do know how, but I'm way too scared to do it right now. So if I was the guy, I would stand right here, and somehow I would install these, but yeah. What's the key step? Yeah. Yep. I knew that. You need the gasket. Oh, that's what that is. That's the sticky stuff in the gasket.
Yeah.
Valve pins for the head. Look at that. It's almost like you guys are a factory here. Anyway, I've installed heads before. This is where you install them. What is this? I have not seen those on an LS.
Lifter retainer.
Yeah, normally there's a tray.
Yeah.
I guess that's just your guys' style of retainer. That's cool. That's a nice retainer. We got a little head, get it, a little head of ourselves. This is where they put the heads together. They put the valve springs, valve spring retainers, all right back here. So once they're done, they get put on these carts and they get divvied out to the line on whichever block takes these heads. And just like that, the heads are on. It's gonna go to an engine stand, I believe. It's gonna go into the robot to get all the head bolts torqued. So as you saw, just put both heads, got them all pre-torqued with an impact, Now the impact, I'm assuming, is at like 20 foot-pounds of torque, so it's nothing over tightening. Then he torques in all the inside bolts. He's putting the engine stand on, and it's going to go into the robot. So after we go from here, we're going to go to the robot. Robot's going to take the bolts out, put them back in. Take the bolts out, put them back in. That's pre-stretching, and then there's a sequence to torquing to where those LS heads are torqued properly. And they're not like a small block 350 because there's 3 rows. They've all got to be done correct in sequence so you don't mess anything up. So watching this is fascinating. I don't know about you, but this has seriously been so cool and eye-opening to see how they assemble everything here, from machining the block, assembling the block, all the sub-assemblies, and then here you go, right here, look, he's gonna flip that. And that is the fastest, most proper way to torque head bolts. Look at that. The senses that I'm here. It is sending off the alarm. Anyway, so the head bolts on the LS are completely torqued, and it's coming down the line right here to head to valve train. This is not what we came for, but here's another 632 that is just like tugging at the heart.
When your crate engine shows up all shiny and perfect, this is the guy that makes it happen.
Right there. Professional engine shiner. All right, so you guys just watched it go through the entire assembly line. Here is my 6.2 LS blueprint build. We're gonna run it on the dyno before they pallet it up and ship it to us. Now, there is a possibility that we might get a blower, but we're gonna have to talk about that later because it's not for sure. But right now, NA, naturally aspirated 6.2 LS on the dyno. So here in about 10 minutes, 30 seconds for you, we're gonna run it and see what it does. All right, so here's the finished 6.2 LS that we watched come down the assembly line here at Blueprint Engines today in Kearney, Nebraska. It's got the Magnuson blower on it. This thing is gonna be ready to rip. When we get it back to the shop, we're gonna drop it in the shop truck, and we're gonna take this thing to SEMA and do some burnouts. So thank you, Blueprint Engines, for bringing this out. Thank you, Magnuson. I can't wait to put this thing in and show you guys what it's able to do. So we're right around 625 NA. So with boost, we're gonna be in the 800 range. So this thing should be awesome. It should do some awesome burnouts, and it should be very drivable.
That was a big boy pull.
That's cool. So got it to 6,400 RPM, but that thing is ready to go and get crated up and shipped to Utah.
Owen.